Howdy, folks. I'm Lonesome Lupus, leisurely lunching on libertine lawyers.
I'm Amber, who happens not to be a lawyer.
And also, apparently not a wolf. And here are more lawyers for us to munch on because they're such nice snacks. Because, again, we're wolves. I don't know if you caught that or not, but wolves.
Wolves with rainbow cat ears.
Yes, these aren't cat ears. These are wolf ears. Have you ever seen Lupus's ears before? Now you have. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Will I be a jerk if I sent the drunk text and voicemail from my ex to my sister who slept with my ex? When I was 18, I was dating a guy, 20-year-old male, for almost a year. We lived about 2 hours from each other because I went away for college. When I got back, he sat me down with my sister, a 24-year-old female, and they told me that they were in love. She sat there with this smug smile, like she was happy that she completely broke my heart. I just left. When I returned, I met a guy, and he knew what had happened and said that he would wait until I was ready. I am now 24, married to that man, who waited almost a year for me to be ready. My wedding was 2 weeks ago. Back in November, I sent out an RSVP to my parents, my older brother, and other family and friends that I wanted to invite an RSVP. And my mom called and asked why my older sister didn't get one. I asked her if she really needed to ask me that. She tried to soothe things over, and I told her that I'm not speaking to her. They would try this over the course of months. Well, on my wedding day, we were dancing and everyone was having fun until my best friend, who was my maid of honor, came in and told me that there was an altercation. And I went out, and sure enough, my sister, my ex, and her 2 kids in tow. I have never met my nephews, and I'm surprised that they even know who I was. They came up running to me and hugging me and calling me Auntie Rachel. I told her to leave now. She tried to cry and tell me that she was sorry. I told her again to leave or I would call the police. She said that I wouldn't do that because we're family. And I told her that family doesn't sleep with their family's boyfriends, and he tried to jump in and my brother told him and them to get out. She started yelling that I was turning people against her. My best friend already called the police, so I went back to getting ready. My brother told me that she was screaming at the police and being belligerent, that her only sister was getting married and that she deserved to be there. Her children deserved a not. Very delusional ramblings. The wedding went without a hitch after that. I had the best time. There was whispering about what happened outside the reception, but I didn't let it ruin my time. We get back from our trip to Jamaica, and I have dozens and dozens and dozens of texts and calls. I was not on my phone, nor was my husband. I had a few drunk calls and texts from my ex saying that he hates his life and he wishes that he could go back and turn my sister down. He is miserable and he hates his kids and he hates his wife. That we should have been the ones getting married. Now here's my dilemma. I don't care about him and I'm content with the life that I have. It's beautiful. Would I be wrong to send my brother these texts to give to her? I don't even want to include that he hates his wife. I just think it's weird that he said that he hates his children. My husband said send her everything, include the drunk voicemails of him calling her vile names. My husband is more petty than I am and hates that she hurt me because we were sisters. I made this throwaway to ask if I was doing the right thing. Do I want to deal with the fallout of the family? It's tempting because of what he said about their kids. That would be the only part that I would send. Once again, I'm not out to ruin or blow up her life, even after everything that happened. The only thing that matters is what he said about the kids, and that's my dilemma. Chris Watts keeps popping up in my head, and what he did to his kids and wife. I'd want to know, but I don't know how she would feel knowing from me, the person who called the cops. I would be seen as trying to ruin her marriage, and I don't care enough to try to ruin her life. This is not revenge. If I wanted to get revenge on her, I would have sent her the text that he sent me 7 months ago when we broke up. Also, I don't know how he got my number. We still have mutual friends, so he could have gotten it from them or some phone number lookup. I have no clue, but he was blocked after I saved all of the messages. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think Opie would be in the wrong to send the messages about the kids. Personally, I don't think Opie would be in in the wrong, even if she wanted to be a little petty and send everything. But, I think if she's concerned about the well-being of the kids and it sounds like he really hates them, like that is good information for the sister to have.
Yeah, I would actually have a really hard time faulting OP for sending everything. And the
Yeah.
reason why is if you were married to somebody, wouldn't you want to know if they hated you or not?
Hmm.
And certainly I see OP's dilemma here. And because like anything that she does at this point in time is going to come across as just being rubbing salt in the wound and being petty and whatnot.
Hmm.
So I can understand why they wouldn't want to send this stuff. This is kind of a bad situation, and it's clear that he's unhappy. She's probably unhappy as well. Maybe it's not good to raise kids in an environment where one of the parents dislikes them this much and the parents aren't happy in general. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Revealing My Sister's Biggest Secret? Throwaway, yada, yada, yada. I'm a 29-year-old female, and I'm a mom of one 3-year-old female, and I'm pregnant. Baby is due in August. My sister, 22-year-old female, is single, makes money off of influencing and lifestyle videos. She's carved into a niche, making a lot of child-free lifestyle posts, like posting pictures of vacation and luxury purses and saying, this instead of a college fund, stuff like that. She's always been a good auntie to my daughter, and her annoyance with kids has never been targeted towards my daughter. My daughter had her birthday earlier this month at a park, and she unfortunately hit her face on the ground when she went down a slide. Her face was scratched up, and she was screaming, but otherwise is okay. Just needed comfort and ice. Because there were many kids, and she was nearing the end of the party, we cleaned up, and we went home soon after. Later that evening, my sister made a video that retold the story of my daughter falling off the slide with her laughing and talking about how stupid my daughter is. To say that I was angry is an understatement. 2 years ago, my sister had a baby and had given him up to the dad, a one-night stand, because of her child-free stance. Here is where I might be the jerk. I immediately commented on our video telling her followers that she abandoned her baby and was not child-free. That she told my daughter to her face that she loved her and turned around and did this. Apparently, my sister's boyfriend did not know that she had a child. My sister removed the video and called me screaming and telling me that he left her and that I had no right to tell anyone about the child. Why I might be the jerk. My sister getting pregnant and giving up her child was the darkest chapter of her life. She had a hard pregnancy, was terribly depressed during it, and got on illicit substances afterwards. She's cleaned up now, but refuses to discuss this part of her life. We had an unwritten rule that we do not discuss her pregnancy. My dad is on my side, and my mom won't talk to me. She says, as a gay woman, I should know not to out people, and my wife thinks that I could have handled it better. But I can't get over her mocking my child and making content over her pain. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Opie's the jerk here. Now, granted, it was really uncool to make a video mocking a child, and I could understand OP asking her to take the video down or commenting about how rude that is to say about the child or something like that. But this was not a thing you need to share. First of all, being child-free doesn't mean that someone has never given birth. Unfortunately, there are a lot of situations where people are forced to give birth when they don't want to. And so someone can still be child-free and be forced to give birth. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. And so to say that she's not child-free because she went through this really hard pregnancy is really not cool. Secondly, OP also knows how much she struggled psychologically during this time period and that she's willing to bring up these old wounds that really hurt her sister is so flippantly is not cool.
Yeah, I have a hard time with OP's actions. I think that what the sister did was pretty terrible, but I think what OP did was probably worse. And this was something that she probably should have discussed with her sister in private as opposed to bringing it to the internet. I understand her being angry in the moment and being like, I want to defend my child against this harassment. But also, like, I think that they just handled it in a very poor fashion, right? So I don't think there are really any good people in this situation, but I think OP is probably a little bit worse here.
I would definitely say OP is worse. Like, again, like, it's not cool to mock a child.
Yeah.
Again, I think OP has every right to be upset about her sister mocking the child. But again, this was such a traumatic memory. So to throw someone's trauma right back at them and tell them that they are not, that you can't really be child free because you had to give birth is just such a horrible thing to do.
Yeah. Well, and then also, I think a OP should go forward saying things like, you cannot post pictures of my child without my permission in the future, right?
Well, it sounds like the child wasn't included. She just recounted the story.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's a little bit of a different situation, but it still is not a very good thing.
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, and our next letter is titled, My Girlfriend Proposed to Me, and Amber wants to read this one.
Yesterday when I came home from work, my girlfriend made my favorite food for dinner. After eating dinner, my girlfriend and I went to watch TV, and she said she wanted to talk. I asked what she wanted to talk about, and she asked me if I really loved her, and I said yes. She then asked me if I wanted to dance with her, and I said sure. We danced to the song The Words, and when we danced for about 2 minutes, she got down on one knee and asked me to marry her. I did not expect this at all because I'm a guy and never in a million years would I have thought my girlfriend would be the one to propose, but she did. I said yes. I do feel bad for not asking her first, but I'm going to buy her a ring as well. I just had to get this love off my chest.
That's such a lovely story.
It is.
It's very wholesome. I'm
is.
glad that OP and their partner have this relationship and that she felt comfortable enough proposing to him and that he said yes. It's a great story.
Yes, many happy wishes for your future.
All right, folks, then our next letter is an update from yesterday. Update, am I the jerk for sleeping with my frenemy on my wedding day? My ex-fiancé called and apologized. I suspect, but have no evidence, that someone may have sent him my post. Nothing stays quiet in a small town. He said that he regretted what he said the moment that it came out of his mouth, but the damage was done. He apologized again and promised that he would repay his half of the wedding. I'm not holding my breath. Some things to clarify. What was the actual reason for him getting cold feet? 2 major things. First, he found out that his uncle, who he was very close to, took out a lot of debt in his name. It's fraud, but he didn't want to turn in his own uncle to the police. He was afraid that I would resent him for putting me in a bad financial position right off the bat. Second, I didn't want to move to a major city. I'm very happy living in our hometown and I earn a very good living. He wanted to move and needed the extra money from a better job in a major city to pay off the debt. He felt stifled. Instead of talking to me, he began thinking more and more of the reasons not to get married, but he was paralyzed by choice and then ran out the clock. I was humiliated because he couldn't just talk to me like an adult, but instead ran away. He also admitted that he thought that we would find our way back to each other. Was frenemy at the wedding? No, it was just close friends and family, but if you live in a town like mine, everyone knows by midday. Are you and frenemy going to ride off into the sunset together? No, I'm not joking when I say that he annoys me and just brings up a lot of negative emotions. It's not cutesy or old married couple bugging each other. He constantly just does things to ruin my day. In class, he would rifle through my notes and scatter them, shut my computer off during computer lab, break my things, and constantly taunt me. He would also grab me or kick me or play wrestle. When we were 14, he broke my arm in an accident, and he wouldn't stop hitting me. And those things didn't stop when we grew up. It just became part of my life. I don't know why I did, but maybe it was just self-destructive. Maybe it was because I wanted to know why my fiance left for this. Whatever it was. I know that I should stop. He still makes me upset. He'll mess with my stuff when he's over at my apartment, and he'll steal my food. He's very grabby, and he still taunts me. But he's so much nicer when we sleep together, and I want to shake him and ask him why he has to be nice for only a couple of hours. If he changed, I would be happy. But then he goes back to taunting me. But then he goes and does something inexplicably sweet. He's a good person, but he's mean. It's very self-destructive, and I know I'm just looking for the scraps of love that I can get. And I'm stuck in this spiral. It's a lot looking back after what I've written, but thanks for listening. All right, folks, what do you think of that update?
Well, I might recommend therapy for OP.
I think OP should go into therapy.
I mean, I think it sounds like OP is looking for love and has a lot of like needs that aren't being addressed, and a therapist may be able to help OP find some healthier outlets to get these.
Yeah. Well, and I think also frenemy needs some therapy. It
Oh,
sounds like I
absolutely.
think that he has a lot of issues that he needs to work through.
Yeah, it sounds like that whole like boys will be boys mentality that which is not an excuse, but a lot of people grew up with this idea that, oh, if you bully a girl, it's flirting and it's
Yeah.
fun, and he never outgrew that. Not that anyone should do that, period, but like definitely he needs to learn that you do not treat people badly. You do not do these kind of things. So,
Yeah. Poor OP. Poor OP. It's not a good situation. It just seems like she's kind of like living her life as best as she can, picking up the pieces from like this horrible situation. So I feel bad for them, and I hope them nothing but the best of luck in reestablishing their future. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Folks, it's come to my attention that we do not do enough educational material on this channel. So I figured in order to remedy that, we would ask an AI how to do things like survive a zombie attack. So here are some step-by-step guides and instructions on how to survive a zombie attack. Well, step 1, you want to punch a zombie in the gut. Stay calm. AITA step first. Step 2, play calm. The situation, and then that means follow a zombie who has a gun, I guess. Step 5, stay suvers fat the sappy, and then step 1, gather the surtuperties WIBTA Stephanie. So just remember that step, folks. Then step 4, gath denoking supplies fatwa arat more zombie. Then step 5, gath macking wepar mit enikotal kins. And then step S, dwetuk your nose for medical kit. Step 7, avok it making noise. It's as testament nude. So that, folks, is how you survive a zombie attack. Hopefully this has been educational and informative. Please remember, stay safe out in the zombie wilderness.
yeah, I think I don't know how helpful that is.
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What might you call it if two saucers went for a romantic dinner?
I would call it a nice way not to break some plates.
A plate date.
A plate date. Well, that's a nice play on words. And I have Make a Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior!
Happy Friday, Junior!
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please, have it wholesome.
It doesn't matter who proposes or if anyone proposes, as long as you get to share your life with the person you love.
I think that's a great moral. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!